Hello, friends. Welcome to the Human Blueprint Podcast. Welcome to the very first episode of the Human Blueprint. In this episode, I'm going to share my story. I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am. We're going to talk about the challenges that have shaped me and why I've been inspired to create this podcast. Together, we're going to explore what it means to reflect, grow, and transform as human beings. You'll get a sneak peek at the topics we'll dive into each week, the inspiration behind the show, and what you can expect from our time together. Let's start this journey of discovery and transformation one blueprint at a time. So let's get started. Who am I? Not anyone qualified to lead a podcast like this. I don't have a degree in psychology. I'm not a therapist. I'm not credentialed as a life coach. What I am is a midlife woman about to turn 50, a mom, someone who's been married and divorced a couple of times, happily married now, and I've owned some businesses and ran some companies, and I've also had a lot of therapy in my life. I've probably read every self-help book that's out there on the shelf. I have done a lot of work on myself. And this podcast came out of something that was just weighing heavy on my heart. As an owner of a company, as a business coach, as a consultant, and as a friend, I have always been told that I'm a great listener, that I give incredible advice, and that I've really helped some people get through some hard times in their life. Been pretty motivating and inspired. But one of the things that I've really wanted, why I wanted to really create this podcast, is because even in my coaching business, where I've been coaching agents all over the country in a real estate career, that's pretty much what I've done for the last 25 years. I have found that a lot of the things and the barriers, the boundaries, the roadblocks, the stepping stones, just the ropes, the boundaries that have gotten in people's way of truly succeeding in their career, a lot of it is this junk that we're going to talk about. A lot of it is the work that I've done. A lot of people haven't done. And some of it is the barrier for them is just not being able to afford therapy. Some of it is scared. They're fearful of having to do the work. And some of it is they just don't know any better. They've never been exposed to thinking a different way. And so this is something that's been on my mind for the last 2 or 3 years. It's been on my heart. Did I have anything of value to share with the world? And I just decided, even if no one listens, this is a passion project for myself that at the very minimum is going to help me unpack a lot of the stuff that makes us humans and the things that we go through on a daily basis. And we're just going to talk. We're going to be real. We're going to be raw. We're going to be relatable. I'm going to provide you practical tools, engaging stories. I'm going to tell you a lot about myself. Some of these things, there's going to be some people in my life that are going to be in shock of some of the information that I have to share about my own stories. But I'm also going to give you some actionable advice. This is not like any other podcast you've ever probably listened to. You're not just going to hear me talk and tell stories. My job is to really break down these themes that I've planned out for you. And I've really planned out 2 years worth of content. So don't worry, you're not going to fall in love with this podcast and then I'm going to quit. I've got 2 years worth of topics that I feel like we need to dive in a little deeper. Let's explore them together. And then I also have created some actionable steps for you to process the things that we talk about. So what's going to happen is you're going to get questions for thought, activities for reflection, and some real-world application of some of the advice that I'm going to give to you. If all you do is listen to the podcast, good for you. You're already taking a step towards discovering how you tick and how you think and what makes you you. But I assure you, if you roll up your sleeves and you do some of the work that accompanies this podcast, you are going to have unimaginable growth and quite a transformation. The impact I hope to make with sharing my insights is really to connect with you and to help you think about yourself in a different way. how you relate to the world, the things that you need. My goal is for you to really reflect, grow, and take action in your own life. So here's what you can expect. Some of the topics we're going to talk about are going to be really heavy, and some are going to be lighthearted and funny. If you know me at all, you know I love to crack jokes, I love to tell stories, and I love to make people laugh. Some of our episodes are going to be really heavy. We're going to talk about grief and healing, and we're going to talk about some sexual assault, and we're going to talk about family dynamics, and we're going to talk about your childhood. Some of those topics are going to be heavy, and they're going to be hard to digest, but I promise you, we're going to come out on the other side of those topics stronger and ready to take on the world, despite however we feel about those topics. I will always warn you in advance when those topics are coming up or when I feel like maybe they're not appropriate to listen to in the car with kids. But I do want you to know it's going to be a broad mixture of the types of topics we're going to talk about. Some of the things are going to be a little easier, like building confidence or setting boundaries, relationships and personal growth. Some of them are going to be your responsibility or choosing the wrong kind of love or parenthood. Each episode is going to include relatable stories, exercises, and thought-provoking discussions. There is a Facebook group where I would love, if you are one of my listeners, for you to join the Facebook group and comment on any of the episodes that you hear, share your own stories. It is a safe place for us to come together and discuss some of the things that we're talking about. And I hope that we will be able to build a community of other listeners who are doing the work right alongside you. My hopes for this podcast really truly are to inspire you to reflect and grow and transform your life by taking action. And then I hope that you will join me each week as we tackle life's challenges and celebrate its victories. Follow the podcast on your favorite platform so that you never miss an episode. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch the video if you would like. And make sure you tell a friend so that they can join us as well. I'm really looking forward to this podcast. I'm excited about the information that I'm going to deliver to you. And I really hope that the impact that I'm going to make on each and every one of your lives, no matter how big or small, I hope that it's just what you need to live a life of happiness and hope for what is to come in the future. Get ready for our first full episode. Who are you unencumbered? Dropping soon. Thanks y'all for listening in, and I can't wait to dive in a little further.